Horizon for the education community after the second question on the Massachusetts ballot was approved. It ended the requirement for students to pass the MCAS to graduate high school.
Western Mass News reporter Reagan Stoddard joins us live in Springfield with more information. Reagan?
Abby and Chris, with voters approving question 2 on the ballot, students and teachers can focus now for the future more on educating and less on testing.
Schools across the state can be excited to celebrate the results of question 2 on yesterday's ballot, one that now allows for the elimination of the MCAS as a graduation requirement for high school students in Massachusetts. The results were that 59% voted in favor of eliminating tests passing as a graduation requirement. Western Mass News spoke with Deb McCarthy, Vice President of the Massachusetts Teachers Association, about how the MCAS were not beneficial for all students.
The MCAS was a standardized one-size-fits-all assessment that works well for some students, but it is a barrier to others.
In her 25 years of teaching, she saw which students least benefited from the MCAS.
Students who are learning a second or a third language, students on an IEP, and students who are dyslexic.
Educators can now focus their curriculum on preparing students for college and post-graduation rather than passing a standardized test.
I'm really excited that we're going to provide more agency and authenticity to the learner, because I really believe that'll do something about the attendance crisis that we have.
Now moving forward, students will be required to complete district-certified coursework and to meet state standards. Reporting live in Springfield, Reagan Stoddard, Western Mass News.